Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Folge Let's Play Final Fantasy XI mit Alwyb. Wir sind hier wieder im Bastok der Vergangenheit und machen die dortige Questline weiter. Seit der letzten Quest musste ein Ingame-Tag vergehen und man muss mindestens einmal gezoned sein. Und jetzt sprechen wir mit Gentle Tiger. No unauthorized personnel will be permitted entrance to the metalworks, especially not after the beating my pay took at last time. Hallo Adelheid. We have an Cillian's unknown method of entry and a victim slain in the dark. Perhaps the chief engineer could construct a machine to calculate the possible vectors and points of... Oh, I am awfully sorry. I've been so focused on the mystery behind Senator Werner's assassination. You see, I happened to be I happened to overhear a conversation between some Mithril musketeers. Kennen wir Adelheid schon? Ich glaube nicht. Progress report. Nothing new. I've discovered no was sind das für Worte? Recalcitrant witness. Recalcitrant. Das Wort kenne ich nicht. Witness no conflicting evidence on the senator's movements. You spoke again with the guard who discovered the body. The details of this report remain unchanged. He insists that his room had been locked since the morning and was empty when he checked inside during his patrol, moments before the senator entered. The guard you speak of is honest to a fault. We have no reason to doubt his testimony. Then we can assume the crime scene was inviolated at the time the body was discovered? How in Altana's name did this murderous wrath slip in and out unnoticed? There's one other thing that seems out of place here. Out with this, Nikolaus. I go back to the report from the first guard. He stated the following. I heard the senator's cry and ran to investigate. I was obliged to break the door open in order to enter the room. He went on to mention pitch blackness when he described the situation within. Why didn't the senator light the lantern? Is it possible he was attacked before he had the chance? If that were true, then the body would have been found over here, where the tools for lighting the lantern are located. However, it appears that the senator walked into the center of the room without touching those tools at all. Why would he have gone so far into the room without a light by which to see? That is unusual. There were no signs that the body was moved either. We can assume that he blundered through the dark of his own accord. Perhaps Senator Werner was fleeing from his attacker before he was stabbed, although the guard reported only a single cry. One presumes he cried out the moment his assailant plunged home the dagger. A murderous wrath, and a victim slain in the dark. What do you make of this, Nikolaus? I honestly couldn't say. I have several theories, but I need more information to make a final judgment. I used to study in the same classes as Mithril Musketeer Nikolaus. Even back then, he was famous among the students as the sleuth who solved mysteries like the case of the vanishing grimoire and the case of the missing professor. And yet this case has even Nikolaus stumped? I guess that's why I've become so obsessed with it. Now where was I? Ah yes, we must consider the surface area of the floor and the potential speed of the fleeing assassin. What? Who goes there? A child? This is no place for games, little one. Captain Clara. You see, I'm not here to play. Then why are you here? Oh boy. I can't believe Mithril Musketeer Clara is talking to me. Not about to break under interrogation, are we? Well, just see that you don't come sneaking in here again, okay? Yes, ma'am. Is something amiss, Captain? The child was poking around in Chief Engineer Sid's laboratory, the room where Senator Werner was assassinated. He what? That's not possible. Yes, no one here is to blame. Not the sentries, not the guards. No one is at fault. I've been alert the entire time. How did he get in there? Ja, dann fragen wir doch mal Pakdago. Der müsste immer noch an seinem Platz von letzter oder vorletzter Folge stehen. You want to know how I snuck into the metalworks? There was a guard at the entrance, so I crawled in through the ventilation shaft. What were you thinking, Pakdago? Your recklessness could have gotten you hurt. But I've heard so many Humes saying that maybe Elder Veray and Gumba were responsible for the senator's death. I thought if I could find the real culprit, their names would be cleared. Is that what they're saying? Those Humes will take any opportunity to drag us down. I'll admit there may be a few individuals among the Galkan community that didn't shed a tear at the senator's death, but that doesn't mean we'd stoop to murder. And I'm ashamed as a fellow Bastokan that any would accuse your elders of such. Elder Veray? Gumba? And Mithril Musketeer Volker? The charge for inciting civil unrest has been dropped. There's no need for you to continue your investigation. That's great news. Did you keep up your sword practice while I was gone? Things are back to normal, I guess. President Stork. You think you can just waltz in here after accusing our old elders of such fool deeds? Calm yourself. This man is not one of the troops who arrested us. And he was gracious enough to escort us this far, knowing full well the reception he would receive. Though it hardly begins to address this injustice, I apologize for the affront against your elders. I defer to Gumba's wishes this time. Let us be on our way. Don't fall behind in your training, Pactago. This Volker is a man to be watched. He may one day be a leader that both Humes and Galka can follow, so unlike his uncle Ulrich. Huh? Ah, the informant. It appears that the weapons found in Grauberg were so old as to be completely unusable. Have you ever heard of a race called the Antika? They are antique beastmen that nest in the Khusos region, the former homeland of the Galka. Those weapons belonged to Galka slain by the Antika many moons past, where Ryan Gumba kept them in that cave as a tribute to the fallen. Losing a companion to war is always painful, no matter how many times you experience it. After losing an entire homeland, not to mention countless friends, I can only imagine how deep the well of Galkan sadness runs. Volker! What is it? What happened? The envoy escorting the Sandorian ambassador on his way to fill the diplomatic post here in Bastok has fallen prey to a Quadav attack. Baronet Dulé? I'm afraid so. According to the squire who managed to break free, the ambassador was taken into a mineshaft that has an entrance in the Parshaw marshlands. A mineshaft? Then we must set out before they have a chance to flee too deep into the tunnel. There's a goblin here in town by the name of Blatherix who has knowledge of the mining complex. I've sent Nikolaus to speak with him. The captain has ordered you and Zed to launch a rescue mission at once. Understood. We leave immediately. Okay, dann schauen wir doch mal, ob wir diesen Blatherix finden. Der ist bei F8 und wir sind jetzt bei... Ja, okay, der dürfte ja gar nicht weit weg sein, da auf dem großen Platz. Einmal nur die Treppe rauf. Oh, so wie es aussieht, wird die Mission lange dauern. Wahrscheinlich werde ich sie irgendwo in 2 Teile teilen in der Mitte. Aber vielleicht geht es jetzt ab hier relativ schnell. Ich weiß es nicht. Wir werden es sehen. So, wo ist er? Da ist er doch. The Yaguda... Achso, I'm a traitor? You got anything to... I'm here, traitor, a trader. You got anything to trade? You want information about the Quadav mine in the Parshaw marshlands? You bring me 30 chunk of goblin chocolate and we'll talk. Or maybe I loosen my tongue for 5000 Gil. Ja. Ich könnte jetzt die Gil bezahlen, aber diese Goblin Chocolate gibt es relativ günstig bei einem Händler in Juno. Da kostet es mich... Na gut, aber das ist trotzdem nicht so viel günstiger, wenn man das 30 Mal kauft. Ich zeige es euch trotzdem, wenn ich ihn finde. Moment. Wow. Und das müsste dann sein. Ich weiß mal selber schauen, welcher Händler das ist. In Lower Juno H10. Dann gehen wir nach Lower Juno. H10 müsste ja gleich hier sein. H10, jawohl. Und der Händler heißt Pathkriegs. Das dürfte ja dann irgendwo in dem Goblin-Laden sein. Was der Eingang? Nee. Das müsste unten gewesen sein. So. Nee. Doch nicht. Ich hätte jetzt gedacht, dass das... Aber wir sind auf H9 schon. Dann müssen wir doch nochmal schauen, dass das vielleicht doch da oben ist. Nochmal hier rein. Da geht's nicht. Wir sind bei G10. Das ist noch H10. G10. H10. Und vielleicht schon wieder H9. Aber jetzt wollen wir gerade nochmal schauen. Wo ist H10? Ja, das kann nur in dieser ganz kleiner Bereich. Dann kann das eigentlich nur hier sein. Aber da kommt man doch nicht rein, oder? Da komme ich nicht rein. Oder es ist doch in dem... Aber dann... Jetzt bin ich ein bisschen verwirrt. Ich hätte vielleicht doch die 5000 Gil zahlen sollen. Ja, so. Dann muss der hier irgendwie... Ist das doch der Goblin-Laden? H9. Und immer noch H9. Geht's da hinten noch weiter? Ah, da war ich ja noch nie hinten. Da geht's weiter. Ah, und da ist der Goblin, den ich will. So, was wollen wir jetzt kaufen? Eine Goblin Chocolate. So, wir brauchen 30 Stück. Ups, das war zu viel. So, 30 Goblin Chocolates und dann geht es zurück. Ja, wie viel kostet das? Wir haben ja, das ist auf jeden Fall günstig auf die 5000 Gil. Ja. So, dann jetzt zum... Ich hätte jetzt schon fast gesagt Eteriten, aber hier heißt es ja Homepoint. Und dann gehen wir zurück an die Gusterberg-Front nach Bastok Markets und so schnell geht Zeitreisen. So, da müssen wir dann nach oben.